people and their takes. Why does everyone have to have a take?
Everybody's gotta have a take. Gotta have a take. Gotta have a hot take. I mean, we had a whole episode called Hot Take.
Here's my hot take.
Okay.
I fucking like it.
Yeah?
I like it.
Yeah.
They've been and people are like, none of this makes sense. I'm like, have you been paying attention? Because it does. Like, it does make sense. There have been a few like smaller things that haven't made sense, but because they're cramming this into episodes, like, you know, they should have done 10 episodes. I agree with that complaint that they're doing it too fast, but
yeah,
it still ends up and they're blaming the creators, and I'm like, they're doing the ending that he told them about. So I don't really understand what the fuck you're talking about.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm sorry. Somebody on the Twitch stream just said ahoy there, and I'm not sure who it was. It's this weird thing. So just to completely throw you off your topic there for a moment. So when you stream on Twitch on the PlayStation, it does this weird thing where it'll try to verbalize what the comments are instead of actually showing them on the screen. So it's not to distract you from the gameplay.
Okay. So
it's this weird robotic voice. It tries to be pleasant, but it's just disturbing because it, you know, it's a
right.
robot. It's a robot.
It's a robot.
Robots are scary. So anyway, hello, random person. Yeah.
That's weird.
It is weird. So we should talk about the live show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we starting our episode now?
I mean, we kind of already did. I was going to leave all this shit in.
Oh, yeah. As long as it doesn't get me in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whatever. I don't give a shit. If you get mad, go donate to the ACLU. To what was it? Yellow Fund is another one. I put a bunch of things on our social media.
ACLU,
go do that.
ACLU, Yellow Fund. I mean, yeah, all the sane people right now are giving recommendations on where to direct your frustrated dollars right now, and I highly recommend doing that. So, do it. Yeah, I'm super annoyed.
And if you can't do it, then just tell people about it. If you have your own podcast or whatever social media, whatever you use, you have a platform.
Right.
Use it. Talk about it.
Exactly.
Be open.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of why I'm doing this tonight too. It's mad stressful in the world right now. So I'm like, when I get stressed out, I like to play Tetris.
Oh, when I get stressed out, I listen to podcasts. So.
Yeah.
I've been doing podcasts, and I have this jigsaw puzzle app on my iPad.
Oh, really?
And it's so calming, this jigsaw puzzle app. It is so calming that the other night I had it, and I literally dropped it on myself because I was falling asleep.
Oh, dang. We've all done that before.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I usually don't. I've done it like once or twice. It's not a common thing for me. I usually am like, all right, this is going away. Like, I'm one of those people. But with this one, I was like, I can keep going. And then I was done. I was out cold.
It's funny, like, Energizer, they recently pitched this huge cell phone, this huge smartphone that they were making that has like some superpower.
Like a phablet. Remember when phablets were a thing and we said the word phablet? And we were all like, yeah, that's going to be the thing. We're going to say phablet all the time. And then I was like, that sounds a little bit homophobic. No, it's a phablet. That's what we're going to call it. We like it. It's a phablet.
For the record, I never said phablet, just for the record.
I said it. It's a phablet.
It's a phablet.
You got to emphasize the "f" on phablet.
I'll emphasize the "f." All right.
Yeah.
Anywho, so did you enjoy your time in Chicago?
Yeah.
Good.
What if I was just like, yeah, no.
Yeah, no. You know, you
it was really fun. The festival was great. It was really, I mean, to get a little bit of feels. Like the next morning, whenever I woke up, because we got back so late, like I was tired. I had been going because I had to wake up at like 4:30 to get my flight in the morning, and then we got back. I think it was like 1:00 or so.
Yeah,
your time, which is actually 2 my time.
We went out to a diner with a couple of the other producers, Will and Candace. We went to Golden Nugget, which is, I guess, Chicago's version of Waffle House, I guess you could equate it to, for those that don't know. And
I was just eating tipsy chicken nuggets or whatever. That was what I was doing.
the chicken nuggets were tipsy, or you were tipsy?
I was tipsy eating chicken nuggets.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you were concerned about me, like, cause you thought I was tipsy as well.
You were worse off than I was. And
I
I'm
wasn't
like
tipsy
half
though.
your size.
Let me tell you where my mind goes. So when moments like that take place, I often get in my head afterwards about how I did and about, things that still have to be done. Like, you came in for the festival, but since I was a producer for the festival as well, I had a whole weekend of work ahead of me. So I'm sitting there doing the math like, shit, all right, I got to go to bed. I got to go to work possibly. Let's see. Hopefully the office doesn't call me tomorrow because I really can't come in. Just stuff like that. Like, I had a lot going through my head, and apparently it made me seem distracted and drunk.
You did not. I understand what that is. That wasn't. I think you were so tired.
Yeah.
That it almost came across as like a drunk. Because I knew how much you had to drink. You were not drinking. Like, you were just tired as fuck. And then you had the combination of that and then a drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was just like, I haven't eaten since pancakes this morning. Like.
Yeah. Which, shout out to Original Pancake House. They got dope pancakes.
That was good. They have the real, like, the spongy pancakes.
Yeah.
And I always appreciate, I'm like, ooh, you get it. You understand. You have the old school McDonald's pancakes, and I dig it.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. So they had good pancakes going on. Yeah, Waffle House had good pancakes going on too, but I wasn't about that life. I was about, what did I get? I got an omelet or something like that. Anyway, people don't care about this. People don't care about that aspect.
They don't. It was, if you guys want the visual, it's just the post Avengers credit scene from the first movie where they're eating shawarma.
Pretty much.
Just tired and like, I don't know what's happening. I'm just eating.
Especially because we actually released the audio for the live episode like the day after. And that was kind of like a personal mission of mine. I'm like, all right, I'm going to be the first person in festival history to release the audio from the festival during the festival.
Yeah, you're a psychopath. And I have no... I was talking to my dad earlier. I was like, Matt's sick. And my dad's like, oh man, that sucks. I'm like, yeah, he's going to record the podcast and play Tetris at the same time. And he's like, well, that's a choice. Like,
yes, it is. Absolutely.
So you're definitely certified psychotic.
Well, in the best possible way. Because I'm your psychotic. Yeah. It's all right.
Yeah, we all are. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, no, it was a great show. I called my dad the next morning. Mm-hmm. Because I had texted him when I got back as like that, you do with people. My grandmother ends up texting my dad. I end up just communicating with my dad, so that my grandmother knows I'm fine. It's really funny. But so like I got back in my room and like went to bed, then woke up the next morning at like 9 or whatever. And I was like talking to my dad and I'm like, I feel like I'm going to chase that feeling for the rest of my life.
Wow.
Like,
yeah.
That like when the way that stand-ups like describe that feeling, I was like, oh, I finally understand what that is.
Yeah.
It was very, very surreal.
I totally get you on that. Like, first of all, I spent a lot of time over the past few days just thanking everybody involved and everything. I want to thank you because, this was...
You're welcome.
The end. There you go. Like, I've been waiting for that. No, but sincerely, like this is an experiment. This whole thing that we're doing here, we took a chance to see how far this podcast thing would go. And very early on in the life of the show, we got invited to do a live show in front of actual people. We got trusted by the Chicago Nerd Comedy Festival and the production team, with a little cajoling from myself, to open the show.
Let's keep it 100. D is sleeping with the producer.
I mean, yeah.
that's how we got the job.
That's true. She can be very convincing when she puts her mind to it.
I get it.
Yeah. I mean, And, even though it's true, even though it's legit, even though it's all above board, it still sounds like greasy as fuck,
Oh, yeah. That is the intention, my friend.
Okay, well, mission accomplished.
Welcome to the casting couch.
Yeah. So, we're going to move on from that so I don't say anything on the microphone that implicates me in a later time.
So you were just saying, like, for them to put their trust in us, that, especially opening it, was awesome.
Yeah, it really was. We got to be around a lot of other folks. I mean, Mark Rosenthal was cool. He was
very nice.
Yeah, he was the guy that put us on. He introduced us and everything. Willie closed it out. Willie Opper is a great dude. He's a busy guy too. Like, he just does so much for the theater community here in Chicago. And I know his ego is like growing by the moment as I say that out loud. And,
he, once again, very nice.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could call the Oppers a power couple in Chicago, and that's cool. That's another thing.
Yeah, I dig that. That's a really neat dynamic.
I
really
like that. Is.
I mean, it was all organized really well too. Like I was just there in the beginning, but I was there for the first night. But like, I just really liked how everything was handled.
Yeah.
It seemed really well run, and I get very irritated if things are not well run.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I appreciated that.
Well, for sure. And, of course, shout out to John Craig for just producing us like just a maniacal genius. I want to say something nice, but it's sounding like I'm making him a supervillain, which, I guess
he would love that.
I guess so, right?
That's the biggest compliment in the world to him.
He truly is the superior Spider-Man. Mm-hmm.
Oh, come.
So anyway, yeah, I'm still flying high off of that, and I want to see what we can do next. I want to check it out and see like how far we can make this go.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I would love to do more of that. That was a lot of fun, but I also know that we're still so new. Like that, it's crazy that we got that opportunity so early on.
Yeah,
but,
it's crazy. It was so early, and it was such a positive experience so early on too. Because there's no doubt in my mind there's going to be some stuff where we're like, whoa, okay, this probably isn't the best experience in the world right here.
Oh
but,
yeah, but it was
just
a very positive experience.
It really was, yeah.
And if you came to the show, thank you.
Yeah.
We thank you, like via social media, but thank you. And if you weren't able to, whether you're in Chicago, in another city, whatever, one of the best things you can do for us to like support the show is just share us with your friends. Like help us become a little more popular, and then it'll be a little bit easier for us to, go do more things like that. Because that's what we want to do. We want to do that, with you guys. We want to do it with you guys.
I'm going to bequeath all of the groupies to Lex. That's all you. You win. You get them all the groupies.
Hey guys. Hey babies. All right.
It's the Sweet Chili Babies fan club. It's a specific sect of our cult.
Oh, we ruined it. Ruined it.
That's it right there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if we get super popular in your town, maybe we'll come. Maybe we'll stop by and do a live show just for you and several hundred of your friends. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that would be great. I'm sorry. I was taking a drink of my drink for the night. What's your drink for the night?
My drink for the night. My drink for the evening is coffee. That's right. Coffee from the Keurig. It's not even French pressed. It's not even like special.
Is that your standard? Is French press your standard?
I just got a French press and I fucking love it. Let me tell you.
Oh my god, you've been living a savage life.
Dude, I've been Keuriging and like
I would have gotten you when I sent you that coffee. I would have gotten you a fucking French press if I didn't know you had a French press.
Listen,
you savage. What?
I got this French press specifically because I don't have a coffee maker at home. All I have is a Keurig. All my coffee making, like of a traditional like ground, is done at work. So I had to make coffee for the Uncanny TV show recording we were doing. And I'm like, okay, well, I've always wanted a French press. I'm going to go ahead and do it that way. Yep. I got a French press with the intent of returning it, saying like, all right, I just needed this one time. Probably bring it back. I don't know. And I fucking fell in love with the thing. So it's mine now. I love it. And I can't wait to get more coffee from Dark Matter.
Oh yeah. Now you get into the coffee game. This is where it gets fun. This is where we have fun. Like that's to me what tea is. So tonight I'm drinking a little peppermint with lavender. That's my drink. A little pea mint with lavender. I can't do chamomile. Really? I have deathly allergies. So
wow. Okay.
No,
well,
I won't die, but it'll just okay. Let me rephrase this. Okay. Allie, who is my tea person, has informed me that if I drink it, I will not die.
Okay.
But because it's like a ragweed relative, it will likely give me my symptoms of allergies.
Oh,
so
wow.
like sneezy, runny eye, maybe stuffy nose. I don't know. All of the above. So it's just not worth it. So I can't do the traditional chamomile and lavender. So I've just been drinking peppermint when I don't want caffeine, but when I'm like, my tummy's bothering me or I'm anxious or whatever, which I'm not tonight, but I'm just like, I want some pea mint tea. But Allie was like, oh yeah, I do chamomile, peppermint, and lavender. And I'm like, wait a second, lavender and peppermint sounds delicious. And so she was like, here, and like a drug dealer gave me a baggie of lavender. And so I literally left. I'm like, you realize that every time I get lavender from you now, it's going to look like you're a drug dealer here. She's like, I've accepted that and I'm fine with it.
I love it.
Yeah. So I literally left with a baggie of lavender. And
I love those situations where it's like a super nerdy type drug deal, you know, and there's no drugs involved at all, but it just feels like, man, if we got busted right now, this would look super shady. For instance, when I used to review games for I died. Game over. All right, it's Steve's turn. So when I used to review games for Pads and Panels with Bill Jones, he would drive up to my job on his lunch break and he'd bring me the review copies. And so he just drove up all shady style and just passed me like the brown paper bag.
Oh, that was the best.
It looks like the nerdiest drug deal ever in the world, and it probably was, except for you got
it's
me
like
beat
passing
with the
dumb
tea.
in school, where you're like, this is not a thing, but we're making it a thing because we're bored.
Right. So
we're bored, so we're doing it. Yeah, it's just hilarious. I love stuff like that too. So anyway, I was taking a drink when you were talking before, and then I was like, I couldn't react, but I'm very happy that you've discovered a French press. That's the way you got to do it. And then here's the thing, man. So I'm not a big coffee person, but my dad is, so I'm kind of a proxy coffee person, even though I'm more of a tea person. You get whole bean coffee, and you grind it fresh as you go. You get a grinder. You can go on Amazon and get a grinder for relatively cheap, and then it's way fresher. It holds better.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Just a future thought.
I know well enough to like put it in the freezer when I'm not using it. Like I've heard that trick before, because when I made the swear jar, I got a can of Cafe Bustelo in order to just carve it up and make the swear jar and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was sitting in the freezer for a long time, but that stuff kept, and it was still just as strong as when I cracked it open the first time. When I finally bought it into work.
Do that. He just keeps it in a airtight
container,
little container on the shelf or whatever next to his coffee maker. He's got a fancy as fuck coffee maker.
Yeah.
He doesn't treat himself to a lot of things, but he was talking about that. He found like a refurbished one, and I was like, dude, just get it. Like I have a nicer teapot. It's not that it's like, I think they're like retail like $100, which is ridiculous, but like it's an electric kettle that does all of the specific temperatures. Mm-hmm. And I didn't pay that much for it though. Like I Bed Bath & Beyond couponed that like to hell. So I ended up paying like, $60 or $70 for it or whatever. Like, cause that's how I roll. I don't pay full price ever, but so like I'm definitely aware of the coffee game. I'm not a big coffee drinker. I like it. Like I'm more of a cream and sugar. That's an Eric on Turtle Soup joke. He told me once, he's like, I don't like coffee, I like cream and sugar.
Yeah.
You are my buddy.
I mean, that's like the majority of Americans right there, straight up. Like,
oh yeah.
I remember the way my
grandparents, they drink it black.
Yeah, my granddad was like, he took his coffee black. I thought he was just like so metal for doing that. Because my only other experience with coffee.
Psychotic.
Hey, you know what?
In a great way.
I'll tell you why I do it and how I got used to doing it is because it helps with upper respiratory issues to just drink black coffee. Like it opens up the bronchial tubes.
Yeah, you told me that. I told my sister-in-law because my niece has a little bit of those problems. I don't know if they ever tried it, but.
So with my cousin and I, who, by the way, we look like identical twins with that Snapchat filter. I'll show you later. Like we started.
I'm sorry. I don't like that Snapchat filter. It freaks me out. People are doing it.
It's really freaky. Why?
I'm not doing this. I'm not participating in this. This freaks me out. What is wrong with you? God.
It's not your jam. But
no,
just to finish up the coffee thing.
A few years back.
I'll finish up the coffee thing and then we'll get to that real quick. So, okay. We started drinking black coffee because we have asthma and it helped a lot in the end. Okay. Snapchat filter.
You are. I was like, you already said that, but all right. I was done with the Snapchat filter thing. It just freaks me out. That's it. It just freaks me out. It's not even like going from one gender to another. Mm-hmm. I've seen people put their own gender in.
Yeah.
And it redoes their like look, and it freaks me out.
Yeah, yeah. Like for some reason, what it does is it just like widens the jaw for the guys, you know. And
yeah. It makes you look like a cartoon character.
Yeah, except somehow it does come together sometimes for some people, and it thins the jaw out. When it's trying to make it's trying to make you read as feminine. If I can stop tripping over my words. So it was just like very interesting the way it turned out. Cause I'm like, I never thought my specific cousin, I never thought I looked like her that much, but apparently I do. Yeah. Only just kind of scrunched in. So yeah.
Yeah. I also just don't understand Snapchat. I had a Snapchat for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Because my cousin was like, you need Snapchat. Like it's my life. And I was like, all right. She was the one who got me on Facebook and everything. Thanks for that, bitch. And she was the one who pushed all that like stuff. So I was like, okay. And I got Snapchat, and it's not like she's real young or like she's a year older than me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like, what is this? I don't understand what this is. So I had it for like a day. I just didn't get it. So I just got rid of it. I'm like, no, I don't need this. I mean, I would like to ideally get rid of everything. That's another thing, guys. Rate, review, subscribe, share our things so that we can eventually, we're going to launch the Patreon soon. I'm working on it now. I've had people asking about the stickers and stuff. That will be on our Patreon. I just have to do, the big thing now is I have to do the video. So that's the last real hurdle there. But, help us so that we can have someone else do social media, because I don't want to fucking do it anymore. I want to be off of it.
Yeah, this is actually an interesting thing. So, folks, for those of you, for those of you listening, let us know what you like as like Patreon rewards too. Like,
yeah, that would be.
I'm curious about that because the entire point of Patreon, of course, is to support something that you enjoy, continue doing what it is that you enjoy. But, you get all kind of tchotchke with that sometimes. And I'm curious what it is.
It's bonus material but the main thing is the podcast.
Right.
Like you'd be supporting the podcast. I'm all for that. Tell me, send the page messages on whatever, or email us, or whatever avenue you want to take. Go on our website, Lex and Matt. Was it Lex and Matt Pod?
LexandMattPod.com. Send us a tout.
You can find all the info.
Go to my live journal if you want to.
My Angel Fire is lit.
It is lit. Mine still has that under construction thing up there,
Yeah.
2 decades running.
We had to shut down the website because it became a hub for pedophiles. Or whatever. What was The Office? The thing on The Office?
Yeah,
under construction since, and then they launched the Dunder Mifflin Infinity, or whatever it was called, and they had to shut it down because it was like, it became a breeding ground for pedophiles. Oh my god. God damn it, that show is so good.
I miss The Office. Yeah.
I do too. There's nothing like it. And yet, it couldn't air today. Even a couple years later, I don't think it could air.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I pushed the mute button when I coughed. I'll edit that out. Yeah.
One day. I mean, it wasn't that loud on my end. I don't know.
Good. But when I do the video, when I do the audio editing, it might like amplify it. Who knows? It's like, oh, you wanted this cough to sound like.
If it sounds really bad, then I get it. But
yeah.
Although now we've made a thing of the cough. So if you cut out the cough, we're talking about the cough.
So obviously, look, all right, somebody called me out, and I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was, but every time on the podcast, I go, I'm going to edit that out. I never do. So we're going to just continue the streak.
Yeah,
and not
I
even
also
fake the
every
funk.
time go, you don't need to worry about it, and yet you insist on doing it, so
I don't worry about it. I take your advice. See?
let's keep the cycle going where you say you're going to edit it out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
And then, never.
in wrestling, we call this kayfabe. We keep the kayfabe going. All right. So.
Sorry, what were you talking about?
I don't know. I just
it's wrestling is brought up, and I'm like, I'm very happy for you. I don't understand. What is this?
I love that reaction. I mean, it's not, I know you're not trying to be condescending. It's just hilarious. Wrestling, I'm very happy for you.
Oh no, that's my philosophy for everything. Like the animated stuff. Or anything I don't like, I'm like, I am so happy you love that thing. I don't understand it. But I have things that I love on that level. And I'm happy that you have found things. And if you haven't found your thing that you love on that level, keep looking. It's out there. Yeah. We all have it.
Yeah.
You're going to find it. It's going to be okay.
It is very true. You know what? I'm glad, though, that you can enjoy a good episode of Bob's Burgers, though.
Oh, I can. I would be really sad if I didn't like the adult ones. If I didn't like that, Big Mouth, I still like American Dad and Family Guy every once in a while kind of thing.
Yeah.
But mostly I just love Bob's Burgers and Big Mouth are the two that I watch consistently. Although there's only 2 seasons of Big Mouth.
I see.
So yeah, they got a Bob's Burgers movie, which was already announced, but they officially put the release date.
I mean, with everything going on with Fox, it's like you can't really trust what you hear. You know what I mean? So it's good that
everything. Look, I know that people are excited that the X-Men are in Marvel's, universe now, and they can do what they want with them, and that's great. But everything else involved with it is terrible for film.
You're right.
It's terrible.
You're absolutely
It's terrible
right.
for the industry.
It is. It is absolutely. It's terrible for the industry. The movie industry is terrible for streaming services because you see what's going on.
They bought the rest of Hulu.
They bought the rest of Hulu. Now,
why are they trying to ruin Hulu and Commitment? Why?
They listen to the show.
Netflix is not doing anything to make it any better. They fucking canceled Santa Clarita Diet. One of my favorites.
You don't cancel Drew. I mean, that's just already just a big no-no.
Don't cancel Drew.
No.
This is ridiculous. I'm so mad about this. And it was a cliffhanger, too.
No, they can't. I hate when they do that. They did that with almost all the Marvel shows, too. We don't know if they did it with Jessica because they haven't fucking even aired that one yet. So
maybe there's enough time for them to fix it with Jessica because they know. The people behind the scenes know.
I highly doubt it.
I don't know. But the point is, they canceled Santa Clarita Diet. So now so now we go through the list. What are original shows that I actually give a shit about on Netflix anymore?
On Netflix? Well, I still like Orange is the New Black. I know that's wrapping up.
Oh, I haven't but yeah.
Yeah.
I want to watch the end of that.
That's good. I like that.
So Orange is the New Black, which was a flagship show they actually gave enough seasons to.
Exactly.
We've established I love Big Mouth.
Yeah.
Santa Clarita Diet was canceled. All the Marvel shows were canceled, so those are out.
My guilty pleasure, Trailer Park Boys, they bought that back. So
okay, so that's still on the air. So that's 3.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing too.
Are we still into Stranger Things? It's been so long.
I'm still on Team Stranger Things.
Okay, so that's 4.
Yeah, I'm not on Team Stranger Things enough to pay $200 for a Lego kit, but yeah.
No, but I love that Lego kit. If anyone wants to send us that Lego kit, we got a P.O. box, and Matt, I swear to God, if you get that Lego kit and you don't send it to me immediately, I'm gonna kill you. I will end you.
I will end you.
Okay, so original series.
Yeah.
That is still, they've picked up for another season.
What did you watch that robot one? That what was it called? Like Die, Robot Love Die or something like that.
Nope, I don't even know what this is.
She-Ra's getting a lot of traction. People are loving that. Voltron just wrapped up. That was really good.
But like specifically that you like.
Yeah.
That's what I'm curious about. Because I'm trying to think of, you know, what do they have now? That's the part where I'm like, who gives you the right to cancel Drew?
Who gives you the right?
Oh, God damn it, that's so dumb.
What gives you the right?
How dare you?
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?
Tony.
How dare you? But it's one of those things where I'm trying to think, and I'm like, what do they have stuff coming down the line, but they've been canceling more and more shows early now. And that's the part where I'm like, well, what's the point of getting invested in these shows if you're going to keep canceling things after 3 seasons?
That's true. That's true. I mean, they used to be big on respecting the viewer. It seemed like they really had a penchant to give us, you know, at least the respect that we needed. Oh, Dark. Dark is good too. I forgot about that.
I haven't seen that one. Because you have to watch that with subtitles, right?
Yeah. Ozark.
So that's the
Ozark
problem.
Is also good. Ozark is a Netflix original. That's that Jason Bateman freaky one.
So the Dark is on my list. The only reason that I haven't is because I know I need to give it my full attention.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have that show You, which it wasn't even an original, but like it's now going to become an original. I really enjoyed that show.
Yeah.
Stranger Things, Black Mirror is one that you like, correct?
I like Black Mirror. I enjoy Love, but they canceled that, you know?
They canceled that, 3 seasons. Yeah. The Crown is still on there. That's a good show. I've seen like the first season of that.
Mm-hmm.
Mindhunter, I saw the first season of that. That was pretty good. Glow. Okay, so we still love Glow.
Oh, yeah.
They still have Glow. But you know what? Guess what next season is? Season 3. They're probably going to cancel it after that.
They probably will. I can't
they'll
imagine.
Probably cancel it.
Yeah. And plus, I mean, I don't know. Is it Gingy? Is that her name? Yeah, she doesn't stick the landing every time, you know? Like Weeds.
She doesn't. Oh, God.
Yeah, Weeds was such a missed opportunity in a lot of different ways.
They literally redid the show.
Yeah.
Way early on. It made 0 sense. They had established a whole thing.
Yeah.
And then they just left it. But yeah, like I'm looking through all of these shows. Grace and Frankie, one of my absolute favorites. I'm still on board for that. And that's coming back next year. Yeah. So that one is shocking that it's still going, but it's been going since 2015. So is that still considered one of the earlier shows that they won't cancel? I don't know.
Who knows?
But yeah, I'm just like, this is really frustrating that they're canceling shows.
Is anybody watching Arrested Development anymore?
I'm not.
No, me neither. I mean, it just, first of all, Jeffrey, or whatever, Tambor, he got weird. Or he was weird and we found out he was weird.
Oh my God. Sorry, I just read another stupid thing that Netflix just did.
Uh-oh.
Netflix just, they didn't renew their deal with the CW. Remember they had that huge deal with the CW?
Where they would stream stuff almost right away after the season wrapped up. Yeah.
It says that that they're not going to re-up that or whatever.
Dang. And that's why
what they're saying right now.
I was counting on them for this season of Flash and Arrow because I did not watch any of these episodes.
So I haven't either, but that's still in play. It's fine for that.
Okay, yeah.
That's okay, and that might still go into next year as well. But they're not renewing the deal, so whenever that deal expires, that's when you'll start to lose things. And it looks like Batwoman is going to be on a different streaming service. Like, so new shows going forward are going to be on a different streaming service. Guess what, guys? I'm not going to watch any of your fucking shows if you keep putting them on separate streaming services.
Yeah.
I'm not buying into another. They're saying there's a Warner Brother is going to try to do their own streaming service. I'm not doing this. You guys are ridiculous. This is worse than cable. CBS has one. NBC is launching one. Like, all of these networks are trying to do their own thing to make you pay for them. Can we not?
Oh, one more small note, and this probably won't mean much to you. Invader Zim and Rocko's Modern Life. Nickelodeon made for TV movies for these, bringing them back. And
I'm sorry, those are childhood shows for me. So
well, there you go. All right, cool.
I grew up watching those.
But the reason I bring them up is because Nickelodeon has a bad habit of just leaving stuff in limbo that they, put time and money into. And these movies have been on the show for quite some time. Well, they made a deal with Netflix that they're finally going to air them on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Yeah.
So
it's not okay. Look, I still have Netflix. I don't hate Netflix, but I have problems with their business model because right now their business model is get new people.
Yeah.
That's their whole business model.
Yeah.
And so that's why they're always chasing a new show rather than paying off current shows. And they're focusing on originals and they're not really focusing on keeping other shows on their network. So that's why you've seen like things falling away. Like that CW deal is a perfect example of how they're not, I'm worried that they think this is how they should run this model. And I just don't think it's right. And what's going to happen is Hulu's going to scoop it up because that's what they've been doing left and right. But now Hulu's owned by Disney completely.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to just merge and become like a Transformer with or whatever the fucking Power Rangers that morph together with the Disney Plus, and that's all going to be under one thing, which is convenient for me, like as a consumer, but like is not good for the industry.
No, I can't imagine it being good for the industry. I mean, maybe we're wrong. Maybe they're going to see the light and come to their senses and give the consumer and the creators what they so desperately want, which is consistency. I doubt it, but who knows?
Yeah. Remember when Bill Gates invested in Apple because the government was cracking down on him for having a monopoly? Like, that's probably the only thing that will work.
Bill Gates.
I'm an optimist.
So, I don't know, man.
Good for film. Not good for film. But,
no.
You know what?
Oh.
Marvel has the X-Men now, so everything's okay, right?
Hey, they got them X-Men back, y'all. It's going to be great.
Controversial opinion. They were fine without the X-Men.
I think the lack of X-Men made them more, it made it more necessary for them to take chances on things like Iron Man.
Yep.
Because we would have got 5 more Wolverine movies, if not, for, X-Men being caught up. My only problem with that whole thing was that they tried to gaslight us into thinking that the X-Men weren't popular anymore.
Right. That was dumb. I didn't understand that.
That was a bad business practice because it's like, okay, we get what's going on here. We understand that you would love to get your X-Men back under your umbrella, but trying to convince the general public that Wolverine isn't just like kicking ass. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care as much about Wolverine as everyone else does. I think he's cool. But I'm kind of ready for new, different characters because it was it was great for so long. And then they did Logan, Old Man Logan. Was it called Old Man Logan or was it just called Logan?
It was just Logan, and it was vaguely based on that storyline in the comics.
Right. And that movie was great. And that was a great, way to close things off for a while.
It was, and it gave me closure too. It was the last movie review that I wrote for the website for Mighty Inc.
Right, and I just feel like we kind of let's close the door on that for a while. We don't need one for some time.
Another movie.
I said that about something else recently. No, yes, that. No. Wolverine. There was another character that I was saying we don't need this for a while. I can't remember what it was.
We don't need
Joker.
Another
it was Joker.
Hero. Or Joker.
It was when the Joker trailer came out. I was like, I don't know if we need another Joker for a while. I don't know if maybe we can just go with there are other villains. Wolverine, there are other heroes. We can play around with that,
Yeah. I mean,
X-23 up in here. That character is awesome.
Oh man. D is playing fast and loose with this Tetris, I tell you that. Fast and loose. Oh, she brought it back. Never mind. Okay. It was a nail biter there for a moment, but she rallied back.
Cool.
All right. Yeah, I'm quite tired of Tetris. No, take that back. That was a Freudian slip. I'm never tired of Tetris. I'm tired of the Joker. I'm tired of Wolverine. I'm even kind of tired of Batman, to be honest with you. It's like the whole thing with Affleck leaving. that just left such a bad taste in my mouth because love him or hate him, he was like all gung ho about playing this character. And of course, the internet picked him apart.
It was that, but it was also his sexual harassment stuff. But I will say that I don't think he was irredeemable in that sense. I think that he can apologize for what I saw of it.
Okay.
From what he sexually, one of the women he was harassing in that was one of my favorite actresses. She was on One Tree Hill. At the time that he did that, she was on TRL. And I was furious for her. Like, I was very upset. I was done with him. I think he deserved the shit that he got for that. But I don't think that he was beyond redemption for that. I think that it's one of those things where, like this is just an example. I don't know. I'm sure someone has a better idea, but where you can go, I'm going to donate money to X, Y, and Z organization. Here's my apology. I'm going to reach out to this person and try to apologize to her because there were a couple of women that he did interviews with. And he was being an asshole. He was also we now know was a hardcore alcoholic. Like, not an excuse, but it is, a piece of the puzzle thrown in there.
Well, we knew that a ways back simply because,
he got clean when he got with Jennifer Garner.
Well, besides that, I was going to say that, like, Kevin Smith basically outed him in a very bad way. I mean, I like Kevin Smith, but I even admit he's got problems, when it comes to...
What did that happen again? What happened again?
Well,
because I don't remember this.
It turned out he was...
I know they're not on the best terms, but...
Right. And I think this might be, and this is just speculation, mind you, but I think this might have something to do with it. The fact that, he was doing one of his Night with Kevin Smith, like, stand-up things before he became, like, the Kevin Smith we know now, which is just, like, the lovable pothead. Yeah. Those are cool. But he was telling a story about Jason Mewes, and in this story, he was talking about how Mewes ended up in the same, rehab that Affleck was in. Because he always likes to brag about how he bought Affleck's house. Like, he owns the house that Affleck fucked in and everything like that. And I was like, that's great, yeah. But then, when he starts telling that story, it's like, all right, maybe Affleck doesn't want everybody knowing that he was in rehab. Let alone that he was in there with Mewes, because that brings with it a pretty hefty connotation that he was in a really bad place if he ended up in the same place as Mewes.
He was. He was. And that, so that's not an excuse, but it's a factor, let's say, but it's a part of it. So in my opinion, it would be, I'm sorry, I'm going to try to reach out to these women and have a discussion with them. If they do not want to talk to me, if they do not want to deal with me again, I will totally understand that. If they want to, that I'm more than open to that. I'm open to, therapy, classes, something to better myself, to better my understanding. And then, just kind of have that and then don't fucking do anything again. It's, to me, when you're talking about instances like the ones he was accused of, there's more room. When you're talking about further and further into sexual assault, I don't like to play the there's levels game because it's all like you're upset. It's all justified. It's definitely a landmine conversation because I don't think there's a hierarchy in that sense, but I think that sometimes there's a clear lack of understanding of boundaries in basic things like that. And, I've seen it happen where the intent was not, it was not in a bad way, but it doesn't change the fact that it was wrong. So I kind of try to look at it from that perspective and I go, okay, if this person is repeating this problematic thing, even after they're called out for it, then I'm very much done with them. But if they're open to change, I think that if they're open to change, it's not a thing that they can go to jail for. Like if you should be serving time for that, like you should be, brought up on charges and all that stuff. But like, if it's a thing that is a problem in our society, not necessarily illegal on that level or whatever, then I think we need to kind of have a path to redemption. The Aziz Ansari is another example. Where to me, when I read that, I was like, this sounds like he thought it was one thing, she thought it was another. It was clearly not understanding boundaries and like the levels of consent and everything like that. And it sounds like a really shitty, fucked up date, but it did not sound like assault. That's so hard to say. Either it sounded like a bad situation, but not that he was irredeemable. It sounded like he just needed to learn a lesson from this, which is be more respectful to the people you're dating. Don't be an asshole. But you know, I think that there has to be that pathway for the middle ground stuff. And it never makes it okay. It never, we have to find a way to do that while not invalidating what the victims dealt with.
Yeah. And
I think that's a really tough line. And I don't have the complete answer to it. I'm just throwing stuff out there. You know,
I don't either. And I don't want to leave you just out there floating with that. I want to just kind of chime in just so I can.
It's a much safer thing for me to talk about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's almost why it's like I feel that because guys need to have. I'm sorry.
Did I give you permission to talk?
Nice. What I was gonna say is that guys need to be allies in this sort of thing too, and not just because it's easy to sit back and be like, well, it's not my problem. And so I'm just going to just, sit over here and just let things shake out or whatever. But I wanted to add that it's, there's so many different aspects to this, but listening is critical. Just listening to people that have gone through, and listening to people that you respect and you really want to just emulate almost, there's also a difference between ignorance, legit ignorance, and just being an asshole, Yeah. So I respect people that just.
I won't argue that Affleck was ignorant either. I would argue he was an asshole, based on what I've seen.
Sure.
And what we do from that point forward, I don't know. But I do kind of go I don't know. I guess this is just a thing in general. I feel for male and female. I feel really bad for people who are addicts in one way or another. Alcoholism, drug addict, whatever, because it's really fucking hard to rebuilding yourself from the ground up like that. And so I think that's my empathy kicking into overdrive where I'm like, man, you did a really tough thing, which is my entire life is going down the wrong path. Let me rewrite it.
Yeah.
So that's where my empathy for that situation kicks in. Regardless of the person. I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not an excuse. It's not a free pass. It's none of those things. You're still responsible for your actions, but you still have to live with those. It's really tough. Are you enjoying Tetris?
I am, but I'm also listening to what you're saying.
During my deep exploration of life and empathy and how men treat women and women treat men and how we misunderstand each other and how if we were all just a little bit nicer to each other, the world would be a better place. And you're playing fucking Tetris.
You know why?
You piece of shit.
You know why I'm playing Tetris? Because I'm respecting you and listening to you talk and occupying myself with something else while you speak.
You are playing this game and clearly half zoned out. Stop acting like this is the thing that makes you a good ally.
This makes me the best ally.
Shit.
I'm the best ally because I shut the fuck up. That's why I'm the best ally.
Guys, Matt was canceled today. I'm sorry.
And in the news today, Matt was canceled.
Ooh, that's rough.
That is, man. It's gonna suck. You
just
doing this
I just want to
podcast
take
by
a quick
yourself.
second because that was so heavy. Let's lighten this up with something.
Okay.
I am weirdly obsessed with Jake Gyllenhaal. He has an Instagram. Wait, so he has his own Instagram, which is like, okay, cool, whatever. He was never a social media person. But the thing that I'm obsessed with is that he apparently has a cat, and it's called Mrs. Flufflestiltskin.
No, dude. Really?
Yes, and it's a
No.
little flat-faced cat. I swear to God. Guys, if any of you have watched New Girl, he is Winston. He is just Winston Bishop from New Girl. He has the cat. I'm pretty sure he's going to start wearing bird shirts. He is weird. He has conversations on there on his account and the Flufflestiltskin. Where, like, there was one of them where it was like, people think I'm your cat, dude. And he's like, oh, we know who you really are. Like, he's kind of lost it, and I love it.
It's funny too because he didn't have social media until he got the role in Spider-Man.
See, this is what I love. This is the 0 to 60 that I love of this situation. He went from not having any social media presence, really, to I have my own account that I post on every once in a while for Spider-Man. But what I'm really into is my cat's account. But he hasn't fully acknowledged that it's his cat either. He's playing coy with it, which is a whole other level of weird.
Acting.
There are literally articles out there that's like, is this Jake Gyllenhaal's cat? What's going on with Jake Gyllenhaal right now? And I'm here for it, guys. This is amazing.
That's pretty great.
I'm very excited about this.
I don't like cats, but I like Jake Gyllenhaal.
How can you not like cats? Oh, my cat literally just went, ugh, when he heard that.
Because they don't like me, alright? Fucking Flurkins. They took Nick Fury's eye, and they fucking tried to take my eye. So no, thank you. Cats are canceled too.
Are you happy with yourself right now?
I am. Because the world needs to know.
I don't say shit about dogs and how fucking needy they are. How needy they are, how they need you to, like, walk around with them.
That's fine.
Oh, God.
I like a good companion. You know, you didn't mind when Bimo was loving all up on you when you were in town.
It was a little much. I'm not gonna lie. It was a little much. And my cat, when I got home, he was like, I'm so excited. I love you. I'm going to snuggle with you. And then the next day he was like, I'm going to go sleep in the corner. Cool. Yes. My kind of boy. Good boy. He's literally laying on the pillow across from me right now. Yeah. I'm going to send a picture of this. You're adorable.
To who? No, don't do that.
I want you to look at his face and know how much you hurt his feelings.
Okay, not all cats. Hashtag not all cats.
Not all cats. You hurt his feelings. You hurt my cat's feelings.
Listen to yourself right now. Just note this moment in time.
I said what I said.
You hurt my cat's feelings.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm just making sure we're all aware.
My friend, there were contenders, but that is the name of the episode.
That is it, ladies and gentlemen.
So far, I have written down like several, because I do this throughout the episode.
Oh yeah. It's always a nice little surprise when I go to the show notes.
Yeah, so I write in the show notes all the possible contenders for the titles of the episode, because it's basically my favorite thing to do with these. So I wrote down, I'm going to edit that out. You don't cancel Drew. It's a phablet. But you hurt my cat's feelings is the winner. So that's the name of the episode. Congratulations.
You don't cancel Drew is pretty strong too. I don't know, man.
I mean, show notes. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll debate this tomorrow or whenever. I don't know.
It'll be a surprise for the listeners.
It will be a surprise. Okay, yes. So do you want to get into a little bit of Wall of Weird?
Man, did we blow through everything else already?
We kind of did.
Okay. It just came up organically, so that's kind of cool.
We have this other article about domestic violence, but I don't really want to get into that.
Shit. No, we already did the heavy thing.
I
that
know.
made me
We
sad.
did the heavy thing. Let's do the funny thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Royal Baby. I accidentally crossed out Royal Baby.
Wait a minute. Yes. The Royal Baby.
Archie is the Royal Baby, guys.
Archie is the Royal Baby.
Can I start calling Archie Your Highness?
You can start calling him the Royal Baby.
You're the Royal Baby, Archie. You're our Royal Baby.
You know what was great? Because, like, you know, I fuck with Archie all the time because he's my friend and I love him. But I texted him when they announced the name, and all I said was congratulations. He's like, you're damn right. And he just knew. He knew. Automatically, he knew.
I was shocked that I liked a Royal Baby name.
Yeah.
Because they've all been like, whatever, they're so fancy.
Yeah.
And one of them's named Charlotte, and that's what one of my niece's names. So I was like, cool.
It's that Markle effect, man. Markle.
Right, but Markle being like, nah, son, it's Archie. I'm like, oh shit.
Like, that's dope. That's dope.
That's a cool name.
That's
Very
hot.
cool name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so our wall of weird, we're just gonna do one of these because I feel like
of weird. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
Please stop.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going to do one of these, and the reason that we're going to do one of these is because I'm a little bit concerned that we won't have like I like the idea of having a backlog of Wall of Weird because I do want it to be on every week's segment. Yeah. So I'm going to hang on to those other ones that you and I added and go straight to our submission from Gabriella.
Okay, Gabriella, thank you so much for writing in. Guys, Gabriella's dope. She came to our live show. It was her birthday. And she decided to spend it with us.
Say happy birthday. We did it on the next episode. Yeah.
Happy belated birthday. Yeah. So at our live show, we gave away prize bags and everything to our, the folks that attended. Cause, it was our party and everybody went home with a goodie bag. That was, that type of vibe we had going on. And so in one of them, I threw something that you and I were talking about, which was like an Infinity Stone class ring that was on sale on Amazon for like, whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I like this, but somebody else is going to like it more. I'm going to throw it in somebody's bag. And Gabriella got it. So
that was the best. They were truly blind bags. It wasn't, it was just whoever first come, first serve sort of thing. So
the only one that I did proper was, cause they all had emojis on them and one of them had the poop emoji. So I threw something extra in there cause I felt bad.
Because they got that poor poop emoji.
Yeah. I'm like, okay.
So yeah, you guys can send us Wall of Weird submissions. Weird stories, weird things that you think would be fun or funny for us to talk about. So she sent this because I think she was telling me, she sent it on Instagram and she was saying that it popped up on her feed in some way, I think. I looked into this, and this is so so weird. Definitely belongs on Wall of Weird. So basically, in Stalin's day, Joseph Stalin, he tried to make a man-ape soldier.
Wow.
What he did was he artificially inseminated, chimpanzees with human sperm.
Whoa.
Trying to make human Z's is what they were.
See, I didn't read this intentionally. I want to say that first and foremost.
Yeah.
Secondly, this totally reminds me of another Netflix show that we completely whiffed on, Umbrella Academy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Umbrella Academy for sure.
Yeah. Monkey Man.
So this is like a thing that like has kind of happened with this weird racing. So this is that, this was the age of steel, the railroad, factory system, and even eugenics. And this is the thing, guys. Eugenics is one of those things where you're like, oh, you can make some interesting things, and then most of it is truly terrible, and then it's a lot of Nazism. Yes. So, there were a lot of campaigning, for making a master race, which is typically eugenics it ends up being that. You're trying to breed the best. It's taking the concept of survival of the fittest and manipulating it to create what you deem is the best. So it was saying for example, Russian scientists did a successful crossbreed of zebras and donkeys, stuff like that. So then Joseph Stalin was like, let's make human ape soldiers And so they tried to
Wow.
do that. And that's what this is about. And the scientist who did this was Ilya Ivanov. Ilya Ivanov, I guess is how we're going to pronounce it. So basically it was, he wanted to breed these to make hybrid soldiers that were super strong and could serve in the Soviet army. So it was all about an arms race, basically. This is a monkey arms race, guys. That's what they were trying to achieve here. I'm sorry, chimpanzee. If anyone's that fucking nerd, like, excuse me, they're chimpanzees. All right, whatever. Okay, so they tried to create the human Z. So this says, oh wait, I might have misread it. So it says that Soviet government, they gave funding to conduct artificial insemination experiments on both humans and chimpanzees. I thought it was just the chimpanzees.
Wow.
So they were just throwing that semen everywhere.
Oh no! Nope.
Mm-mm. You're reacting to Tetris right now.
No, I am reacting to you saying they threw semen everywhere, Lex. No. That ain't cool.
It says, so like humans and chimps, according to Darwinism, could not breed, but maybe like they're like, let's try it. Let's, cause I'm Joseph Stalin and I'm nuts.
That's the name of the episode. Okay.
No, that's not the name of the episode.
Okay.
So this was a different approach to eugenics, which I find fascinating because in the past it's like, okay, Nazism is like, let's give them this eye color, like weird things like that. And now we're talking about gene editing, and I would argue that's under eugenics as well. I'm not sure if it's technically qualified, but like you're talking about picking how your child looks, getting rid of certain diseases. I'm not saying that's not a good thing, but it is, how does it not fall under that? What you deem perfect. Which is creepy. Very, very creepy.
It's super creepy. And you know what's even creepier? Like always in the back of my mind when I hear about these, Frankenstein type stories or, gene manipulation type situations, the sci-fi nerd in me is always like, well, what if it worked and we just never found out about it,
Yeah. No, it didn't. It didn't work.
It didn't work. The end.
It was already pretty established, the science, that it wasn't there. The science just wasn't there.
Sure.
But then, okay, so then what happens at the end? The end of the story is basically Stalin decides, I'm going to get rid of all of these Soviet scientists. Like, just get rid of the intellectuals. Because, they're starting to question all of my people starving, and they're starting to ask too many questions. So I'm just going to get rid of all those smarties. So they're sent off to Siberia or some shit, and then he died 2 years later.
Damn.
Wait, there's more.
No.
So it turns out that Ivanov's ideas didn't exactly die with him. In the unusual case of Oliver the chimpanzee, a strangely human-esque chimp.
Okay.
Claims were made that primates existed somewhere else in the genetic space between humans and chimps.
The space between.
Yeah.
What's wrong and
right. So it was saying that he resembled more human, like he was closer to resemblance of humans, and then reports indicated that he had 47 chromosomes, opposed to chimps, which have 48, and humans have 47. But he was DNA tested in 1996, and the claim was disproved. He was just striking. He had 48 chromosomes.
God dang.
So
1996.
96. So those ideas were still there, and they were questioning it in 96. This, by the way, guys, that's all from Ranker.com. Ranker.com Weird History. That was written by Cheryl Adams Richthoff. That is her, everything I read there, that is her writing. So Thank you for submitting that, and that is hers. I do not claim it as my own. Give writers credit where they're due. Continue, Matt.
Yes. Well, thank you, Gabriella, for emailing us that story to add to the wall of weird. We will put it in its proper place. It was definitely weird. Thank you for that.
It was very awesome and weird. And I did more research on it beforehand. I didn't have it right now. but
Yeah.
I looked into it beforehand, and I was like, oh shit, they artificially inseminated.
Oh,
I'm like,
shit.
I was like, oh man, this is nasty. Because did you have those questions when you were a kid? You were like, why don't they just mix people with this, or mix this animal with this animal?
Yeah, and my silly ass thought it was because of, like, things like ethical reasons and whatnot.
Yeah, no. I thought the exact same thing. I thought that they didn't do it for a reason. Because I remember when I was a kid, too, we were starting to have those questions about cloning.
Yeah.
Because they cloned the sheep and whatever. I think that was when I was a kid. I don't know. But so I thought it was like illegal. It was an unethical thing. I didn't realize that, like, it literally can't happen unless you're close enough. Like they were saying, the zebra and the donkey, for example, which I'm guessing is called a zonkey.
And like ligers, that's a thing. So
Deborah. It's just called Deborah.
It's just Deborah. You hear that, Deborah? You're named after the abomination.
Deborah, you're named after this janky horse.
I'd like to apologize to all the Debras that are listening right now.
Oh,
if they are.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Deborah.
Oh, yeah.
That's rough, man. That's rough.
Yeah, there's a couple interesting ones here that we have that are going to be future Wall of Weird, but I don't want to go through too many of them because I don't know how easy it's going to be for us to find those stories. So I'm like, let's just hold on to them because it's not like it's breaking news typically. Like it's just interesting stories that are going around. Most of it probably taking place in Florida.
I mean, that's a whole different subgenre. If we want to do Florida man stories, I could find you like 20 of them immediately and just rattle them off.
Maybe. I don't know. I like the segment, this one. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you one that I read today that you don't know anything about. And it's freaking me out because it's very topical and it's happening right now in our neighborhood. According to USA Today, zombie raccoon sightings. They stagger. Yes. Show their teeth, and may have glowing eyes. Yeah. The distemper virus can make raccoons act like zombies and can be deadly to dogs. Chicago area officials have repeatedly warned locals that cases have been spotted in the region. Police have received multiple reports of zombie raccoons recently, and the diseased animals are a persistent problem near Chicago, according to reports by the Chicago Tribune and ABC7 Chicago. In December, Cook County Animal and Rabies Control warned citizens of an increase in raccoons carrying the virus and displaying abnormal neurologic signs.
How is that not just rabies, though?
Right, but it's the glowing eyes, I think, that's really got everybody freaking out. Because that's got me freaking out.
Raccoons have glowing eyes.
Yeah, but man, they got the staggering thing and they're coming all up to you and showing teeth and all. Like, have you dealt with raccoons before? Like, have you ever, like, been up close and personal with one and just kind of like...
No, I saw a raccoon in the day once and I was like, that's trouble, and I ran away.
I mean, raccoons they're okay. Like, every interaction I've had, they are. And they're adorable. And they have weirdly human-like fingers. Every interaction I've had with a raccoon, they've been cool. Like, just been chill as fuck. Just as long as you leave them alone, let them go about their business. They're not like possums where they feel like they got a front, or, skunks where it's like, oh, I'm gonna fuck with you. No, it's like...
You have weird opinions about animals, but continue, okay?
These are my experiences with the animals that I've mentioned. Skunks are always like, hey, back up. I'm gonna fuck with you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna spray you. That's literally every single time I've every time I've encountered a skunk. But raccoons are usually just like kind of interested in what you're doing and making sure that you're leaving them alone. But man.
Well, and if they're out in the day, that's trouble. Seriously, if you ever see a raccoon out during the day, you need to call it in, because they are nocturnal. Like, from what I've read, like, and what I know about raccoons, they are not supposed to be out during that time. They're supposed to be off, I don't know, sleeping in a tree. I don't know what the fuck raccoons do, but they're not supposed to be out. So if they're out during the day, they might be sick, and so you need to. I mean, I don't like the idea of them being killed, especially if they're not actually sick, but if they are out during that time, something is wrong.
Yeah.
And it might need to happen, especially because they can get, other animals infected, other people infected, it can be bad. This freaks me out too, like the deer thing. Like they have the zombie deer.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it's not like cancers.
Well,
because they have had that issue with deer and stuff like that, where like.
Let me give you this additional info here for the raccoons at least. Raccoons. It says the glowing eyes specifically because they acknowledge that raccoons do have the glow effect sometimes, but they're saying that the eyes of these diseased raccoons can appear to glow and have an eerily greenish tint because of abnormal mineral deposits associated with the disease.
Do they have photos of this?
No. They just every story I've seen, they have stock photos, and I appreciate the fact that people are like, you know what? I'm not going to film this. I am going to run the fuck away, because that's what you should do if you encounter.
Don't film it.
Yeah. So they just give the bullet points.
They would take a picture of them after it's dead.
Yeah. They say that these raccoons.
And science.
For science, they're walking around dazed and confused and or approaching people or pets. So if they're coming up to you looking like they want $1, no, do not give them $1. Staggering or falling down when walking.
Again, weird opinions on animals, man. It's very weird.
Showing their teeth and, as mentioned, the glowing green eyes. Yeah, that's pretty freaky, man.
Yeah, and be careful with your pets.
Absolutely.
Don't just let them out. Like, be with them. Be aware of your surroundings. Like, women are already aware of this, but men who are out walking with their animals, be aware that something can attack you or your animal.
Yeah.
And just, and then just go, oh, women feel like this all the time. And then just go, oh, fuck.
I would also tell men, and just people in general that, be aware of the type of animal that you have with you, because even if you know that you have the most tender, kindest dog in the world, not everybody knows that. So when we get food delivery, sometimes, because we live on like the second floor technically, sometimes BMO will come out in the hall with me because he's excited to see what food is being delivered. And the delivery people will react one of two ways. They'll either go, oh, look at the little cute guy, or they go, oh, is he all right? Like, yeah, he's cool, man.
Because they're used to dogs being dicks.
Exactly. I used to call it, a South Side dog thing, because growing up on the South Side, I knew you don't mess with people's dogs. You don't go up and pet them and just, oh, how cute. It's like, no. The first time I encountered that is when I started coming up north and like visiting family. I'm like, this is different. You just go up to somebody's dog and just pet it. That ain't right, Yeah. And it's still not right. You should still, one, acknowledge the person that walks the dog, and two, understand that it's not your right to pet their dog.
No.
It's their dog. It's a living creature, But
yeah, I definitely don't just pet animals. I'm usually like, I start a conversation with the person so that I can pet the animal.
That's interesting. I've seen the other opinion lately where people are like, you don't have to talk to me, but you can interact with my animal if you want to. It's like, I don't like that.
No, I don't like that at all.
No.
It's my pet. Fuck you. Like, right, I might not want you near my pet.
Right. I'm a human being. Like, look, I'll go out of my way sometimes to avoid other dog owners because I don't feel like dealing with that whole thing.
That's annoying.
Where I'll cross the street because it's like, I don't feel like it's early in the morning. I'm just trying to get him out maybe and just make him go, and it's like, all right, I get it. It's a social thing. It's society and all that stuff. But it's like, look, I don't want to waste either of our time. We're both out here just to make our dogs poop and go to work. Yeah. So let's just get it done and go through the feigned familiarity
on the
later.
Other side of it, they're going, oh, thank God he crossed the street.
Exactly. At least I'm hoping, because that's, don't feel obligated, please. Like, if you are a dog owner and you see me on the street, just nod, continue going about your business.
Oh, yeah. That's what I do with basically everyone.
Yeah.
When I talk about starting a conversation, it's not people out walking. It's usually like dog-friendly environments where people have brought their animals, but they're out like socializing. Like outside at a restaurant or whatever, because we have dog friendly areas here. There's this one area downtown in particular that's cool. Like they have water bowls out everywhere and everything like that. Like it's everything outside is dog friendly.
Yeah.
And then inside varies depending on which obviously is their right, you know. But yeah, so like in that situation, I'll be like, oh, that dog's so cute. And then I'll just be like, hey, what's up? And then I'm like, can I pet your dog? Cool. And then, you know, if they want to talk to me any more than that, no. If not, I'll just interact with the dog and then I'm out.
Right. In fact, maybe just don't talk to me. Just see the dog. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeah. But I don't want to like, I don't like that. Like, don't talk to me, but pet my dog. Cause you don't know. Like, you have to act like you don't know, like you were saying.
Right.
Don't just assume it's okay.
I joke about the whole being rude thing, of course, but yeah. I mean, you just gotta be a competent human.
Yeah.
Just don't put your hand next to the, you know, mouthful of sharp teeth before,
why not?
You know, doing your research.
Why not?
I mean, consent is always a good idea, no matter the situation. Yep. You don't pet a dog. You don't try to reach in for a cookie.
I mean, it all makes it. Oh, yeah, I'm bad at that. God, I was thinking about.
You're like, wait,
no.
I called you out.
I was just thinking the other day, I'm like, oh my God, of the best, like, peanut butter cookies I ever had. And you just made me think of that again. So that's a problem. But anyway.
I love that you're reminiscing about peanut butter cookies.
It's been on my brain quite a bit because I'm trying to, like, not be horrible with food and to actually work out. Because I'm like, damn, girl, reeling in. And, but then when you start doing that, you of course are like, oh, look at those. Look at those cookies. Look at that thing. So I'm good on like the no soda front and everything like that for a while, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the wrong one to talk to about this because I'm the guy with the Resnaculus thing. So.
Oh, I know. I don't, I also don't give a shit like about
I'm an enabler.
That, and I don't care about other, like, I realize literally no one cares except for the person doing it. Like.
Yeah, no, I mean, I encourage you to reach your goal, but I also encourage you to just be however you want to be, you know? Like.
Oh yeah, it's the fine line.
I stopped giving a shit about what
eating disorders do. Like, I am not on board for that shit at all. Like, I'm very aware of that because I've seen it happen, on personal levels, and grew up with it, and it's not cool.
Right.
So I'm not, it's not like that. It's just like, reel it in. Like today I was like, I don't want to work out. I'll take a day off. And I was like, no, you have to do it. You have to do the thing. So I'm building habits of that. But anyway, it's not interesting. But the thing is, the daydreaming about cookies is a symptom of this mode that I'm in right now, which explains why I'm like, oh man, I could just reach for one of those peanut butter cookies.
Now, I do like the idea. I do like the idea of like publicly making statements because, you know, they say when you start trying to lose weight or you start working out, you're never supposed to tell anybody because you don't want to like set that precedent and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, that didn't go too well. So, whatever. You know, you just try to do it yourself and don't like make a big thing about it.
Yeah.
But I also like the idea of using that to make yourself accountable, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
that doesn't work for me though. Like outside stuff, it's all about the like inner circle for me.
Yeah.
So like I get that that's a thing where you're like, oh man, people are expecting this of me. Like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, spite's a great motivator. But yeah, like for me as well, just making myself accountable for something. Yeah. Like, for instance, I'm supposed to be doing a virtual 5K beginning in June every month. I think I told you about that, right?
I don't remember what the virtual part is.
Okay, so it's a Disney sponsored.
I remember the 5K. Yes, you told me about this. Yes.
Yeah.
I think you told me about this on the podcast. So I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Disney sponsored thing just to kind of give a little short recap. It's a Disney sponsored thing. So once a month, June, July, August, you're doing a 5K. If you do all 3 of them, then you get a special 80th anniversary Marvel like medal. So,
Yeah. Gotta get the coin.
the sad thing about it is that, I gotta get that coin. The sad thing about it is they don't really make you accountable in any sort of way. They just mail you the medals. So to make myself accountable for it, I'm saying it on the podcast, and I'm going to use a Fitbit to count my steps and my progress. So
That's
it's
good.
not going to be just, I did it.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I'll give updates to the listeners.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And if not,
work.
you got the medal.
Yeah, if not, I got it anyway. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay, so just graphic novel challenge update for me. I'm still reading the same shit.
Yeah, no,
Still
same.
reading
I
the
mean,
same stuff. I'm so
look.
that live show through everything, and then the week before that was my finals. So
we had a busy couple of weeks. You had finals. I had Uncanny TV and Shy Nerd Fest.
yeah.
I mean, technically, I'm not even done with Shy Nerd Fest yet because we still have to do like the recap with the theater,
Oof.
just so we can talk about, hey, this went well, this didn't go so well, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, for the most part, everything went well. It was just a matter of comparing it to the year before.
Yeah,
Logistics
like it's
a debrief basically.
Right. But so I'm just like, I am still reading Chew, whatever volume I was on. I don't know.
So ideally, what I want to do next week after I get done reading Batman Beyond Volume 2 is I want to read. I got this new graphic novel today, and I'm stalling for time, as you can tell. It's a hardcover Mr. Miracle graphic novel that just came out today. It's by Tom King. Tom King, of course, is the guy that did that Vision miniseries from a couple years ago. And, he writes for DC and a lot of different things. But I really liked Vision. And I've heard great things about his Miracle Man run, so I wanted to check that out.
I don't know what Miracle Man is, but that sounds cool.
Yeah, Miracle Man is one of the new gods. So he hangs out with like Darkseid and,
I don't want that new god. I want that old god.
Them new gods. But yeah, the Jack Kirby new god sort of thing.
That's cool.
Yeah. So his civilian name is Scott Free because, I mean, if anything, it's endearing how on the nose it is because it's so old fashioned. His civilian name is Scott Free and he's an escape artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Scot free. So yeah. I thought it was amusing anyway, but yeah, people are raving about it and I want to see what all the fuss is about. And it is, here's the goofiest reason why I picked it up. The color of the graphic novel is like the seafoam blue and that is really aesthetically pleasing to me.
Oh yeah, I dig that.
Yeah. So I'm going to be getting that and I'm going to be reading that.
Cool. I'm just Chew. Is all.
Just Chew. You're on Chew mode.
Chew. I might take a break from Chew next week or something. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But like I said, I'm not even done with what I have. It's been so crazy. It's the same with like I've been reading Lord of the Rings for God knows how. I'm still in the first book. Like I'm just
you haven't
like
even gotten to Tom Bombadil yet.
No. I finished Tom Bombadil. I got through all that.
Yeah.
It's just not done. Like I still have a little bit left of the book. The first.
How did you make it through Tom Bombadil? Because that killed it for me.
A wing and a prayer. It was. I mean, I did not enjoy it. It's weird. I was explaining to Allie yesterday. It's like, yeah, it's a little rough. She's like, it's older writing. You just have to, embrace it. That's a thing. So I'm like, okay. I'm hoping that it picks up. The movie seemed to streamline the story a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. The movie did a great job of taking all that material and just really pulling the best out of it. I am curious because I've never really done a deep dive on it enough to know if people were disappointed about certain things that were left out or not. I mean, something had to end up left out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because they have those super long edits too, like those monster like 3.5 hour, 4 hour long extended editions of the movie. I don't know how much of that they throw in from the book, but I'm still like, okay, I mean, the writing is great. Like, it's just, it can slow down so much at times.
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of this?
You know, I kind of want to see that Tolkien biographical movie that came out too.
Yeah, I'm curious about it as well. I guess the family's not cool with it, but
no.
But you know, a lot of times that happens, and it's like, it's fine.
Well, I guess they had to take some artistic measures, which they always do for these type of movies, or else they'd be boring. You know, they had to take some liberties, is what I meant to say, with the story.
I know what you meant,
yeah, the family's just kind of like, oh, we don't like that.
From what I've read, that family's a little bit weird about his legacy anyway. So, you know, it's a whole thing. But yeah, so I'm still reading that stuff. Because insanity. And then this week has been so far like, let me just recover, please. Get back into the groove. Like, the only thing I've been like strict about with myself this week is like, okay, I need to work on writing and I need to work out. Like get into those habits.
Those are good habits.
Right. Beyond that, I'm like, I'm not worried about it. So.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get back to some type of normalcy now that I don't have any like big sort of Damocles type projects hanging over my head.
Yeah. I'm knitting again too. So that's.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. You know,
working on a sweater. It's the color of avocados. It looks like avocados.
I saw that. That's pretty cool. I saw, well, I shouldn't say I saw, but the hat that you brought me, when you came to town, like everybody's been complimenting that. I haven't even been like prompting the compliments for that hat. They're like, oh, that's man. Cool. And you know what's funny too? Like they say the same thing that I said about it. It kind of looks like a Marvin Gaye type of hat. You know? Yeah,
yeah. Cause he used to wear that style of hat. That like fisherman's cap. Sort of thing.
But specifically like a knitted type of hat too. Yeah. So that's really cool. And yeah, it's good. It feels good.
It's a fun pattern. I made that other one for myself and I really liked it. So.
Yeah.
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 Glad you like yours. It's nice.
Thanks. Yeah. What else was I gonna say? No, that's kind of all I got right now. We're gonna talk about the water guy.
I mean, this guy. Okay.
You want to give a quick summary of the water guy? This up.
This is, I call him water dumbass because he's a water dumbass. He basically came out with a branded water. So he worked for Netflix. He was creative director. And these tech companies gave him $1.6 million.
Wow.
For his company, which is called Liquid Death. And Liquid Death is just water in a tall boy can. That's Lovely. It. Designed water. $1.6 million.
Wonderful. Yeah.
It's for punk people that want to drink water.
You're familiar with...
Their logo literally says, murder your thirst. This is some Ed Hardy bullshit. That I'm like, no.
I was going to say, it sounds like something that the band Death Clock would have come up with from Metalocalypse.
I mean, it is so ridiculous that I'm like, are you kidding me? It's not that he invented this. I'm like, whatever, you do your own thing. It's that he got $1.6 million in startup.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Well, you know, Monster, that makes that awful, terrible energy drink.
Monster.
Yeah, basically. You know, they actually do, what is it? They sponsor some type of music festival. Maybe it's like the Warped Tour or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
But, yeah, so they actually produce cans of water similar to that look like regular cans of Monster Energy. So when the bands are playing on stage, it can give the illusion of them slamming a can of Monster as they're playing in order to encourage you to get a Monster yourself, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I know that like Anheuser-Busch does, they can water in they shut down their facilities. They've done this numerous times when there's disasters.
Yeah.
They will shut down their facility. Yeah. But like
I appreciate that.
No. So like I understand that like canned water comes in many forms for many reasons. This guy is just a douchebag. And also
Yes.
boxed water exists, and I had that at the show, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is awesome, and it's better for the environment and everything, so I'm just like, yeah, cool. Boxed
Let
water.
me tell you the downside of the box water though. On day 3 of the
Oh no.
on day 3 of the
Soggy?
of the festival, soggy.
Yeah.
Like if you've ever had like milk that was just kind of like left in the
Oh.
grocery bag,
Yeah.
just to stew in its own juices for a minute.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was bad. It was
Okay.
bad. Like that last day, there was no salvaging the leftover boxes of water. So limited shelf life, better for the environment. You know, I don't know what the cost was.
The
for
cans
it,
are probably better than
the
for
cans.
consumers.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still not
Probably.
buying this douchebags.
No,
Stuff.
definitely not. There's no reason to buy liquid death. There's no reason to buy
Murder
dude
your
wipes.
thirst.
Yeah.
Murder your thirst.
Anything that looks like it was made by a D-bag, you're just making a rich dude richer. Somebody that you probably wouldn't even like in the first place. You don't want to be like that guy.
No, you would avoid this guy. First of all, his fucking face. I'm not going to mention his
He's
name.
got a punchable face.
He looks like a guy you would be worried to have your drinks around at parties.
Oh, that's even worse.
He looks like just frat boy extraordinaire. Like, no. He looks like his father owns multiple yachts named after his lovers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No.
he thinks he's being coy about the whole thing. He thinks he's
Yeah,
being like
yeah.
sneaky, but everybody
It's
knows
the
who
SS
Lucy is.
Maria.
Yeah. Everybody knows who Lucy is, dude. You're not fooling
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
all know what you're up to.
Man.
Yeah. So that's all I got.
That's all I got. You know, I guess after talking to you in person for so many days in a row, like, we probably should have recorded some shit while you were here because we had a lot of good conversations that did not happen on the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
but,
everything has to be for show, but
That's true. That's true. And that's what makes this authentic. The fact that we continue talking the way that we do right now, even when there's no microphone around.
also, if we were trying to record other stuff the whole time, we would have gone insane. Like,
Yeah.
it would have us nuts.
Yeah,
It
you're
would have been
probably
too
right.
much.
Yeah. Take it from Mr. Cassidy. You don't want to do that.
Ugh,
It's not
no.
fun.
That literally every time I think about Cassidy, I just throw up a little bit in my mouth of like.
I mean, don't
it sounds so
associate that with
stressful.
vomit, but
It's
yeah,
so.
okay.
It sounds so stressful. It's like stress vomit. It's not like I'm disgusted with this vomit. It's like, oh god, or maybe I should just say heartburn. Do you want me to just say
Okay.
heartburn? 'Cause that's how
Heartburn's fine.
That's what I feel. I'm like,
Okay.
this sounds so stressful. I don't understand.
It was.
Why.
It was, and it is no longer a thing. So, huzzah.
I definitely think that was the wise choice. Although I won't believe you until June is over.
There's other stuff going on in June this year, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have time or the wherewithal to do cast a day. And that's not like me going, ooh, challenge. It's like, no, motherfucker, you have to actually like do a 5K. So, yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
takes priority.
You're a workaholic. It's insane sometimes.
At least now it's for like healthy reasons and not just, for my own
No.
vanity.
No, I know. I'm just like, you need to sleep. You need to not do that. You're going to the doctor
Hypnosis.
tomorrow, right?
I am going to the doctor tomorrow, so yeah.
Get your
Just so nobody's worried. It's just a regular scheduled thing. It's fine. I'm fine.
Oh yeah,
It's just,
no.
you know,
I'm just
some
being
maintenance,
like,
some upkeep.
have you had enough water? Like, I'm just that person. I'm the like, are you hydrated?
Mitchie
that's
calls
just
that
me.
being an auntie. Yeah,
Yes. Oh, 100%. I am that person.
you are that auntie.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I always joke, it's like I'm the mom. I'm like, have you had enough to drink? Like, are you good? Do you need some apple juice? You want some Dunkaroos? Like, yeah, no, that's
First of all, hell yeah, I want some
Dunkaroos.
Dunkaroos.
God damn, where
Yeah.
did those go?
I think they finally realized that the mascot was a little bit problematic.
Oh, was it? I don't remember.
No, he just sounded like what was the guy that was like Crocodile Dundee? I can't think of the actor's name, but I'm sure people are yelling at the radio right now.
Yeah, sure.
How old am I? Radio. God dog. Yeah. So, anyway.
They're yelling at the channel changer.
They're yelling at the clicker. They just can't stop yelling at their Victrolas. I still don't know the guy's
coming
name.
out of that tube over there.
The pneumatic.
Sounds like a noise. Should we go near it? No. That's how you get cancer.
That's how you get cancer. Probably back then for sure.
Yeah.
All the radiation everything was emitting.
Mm-hmm.
It was Paul Hogan. That's the guy's name. Paul Hogan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't have come up with that if I wanted to. So
No.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway.
Anywho.
Everyone out there, things are rough, but you can be excellent to each other. You can be kind. Make the world a little better place. If you can donate to things, donate to things. If you can't, just, be an ally. Be a cool person.
There you go. If, the other thing about these conversations that you and I have here, it really helps work through some things,
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons why I do appreciate being able to listen to you when you're making points like that, because you bring out a lot of interesting information. You bring out a lot of deep thoughts, and it helps me process some of my own. I understand everybody doesn't.
You mean when you play Tetris and don't
that
fucking
too.
listen?
What I was getting at is that I understand that everybody doesn't have somebody that they can talk to just vent. And so I was going to say, if anybody wants to just vent, they can get at us on Twitter, because we're mad
I
too.
didn't sign up for that. Tweet Matt.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I am ready for it.
No, I understand. It's rough, but you can only do what you can do. So take care of yourselves. Like when my therapist last year, she was like, okay, 3 basic things that like you need to do. You need to get proper sleep. You need to eat well. You need to exercise. Do those 3 things. Those are foundations. And you can work on everything from there. But those are the 3 things that you have to be doing in your life to really be firing all cylinders. Like,
you know what I would have told you? You know what I would have told your therapist? You're not my real dad.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, yeah,
I stole that joke from Kelsey. What up? Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so yeah, just be cool, guys. Be kind adventurers out there.
Be kind adventurers. You guys are great. And
tweet
we
us,
wish you nothing but love. Yeah.
Rate, review, subscribe. We'll let you know. Tell us what you want from Patreon. Tell us what you think would be cool.
Tell us what you want from the grocery store. Might pick up something for you. Anyway.
I'm not buying you more Capri Sun. You already have Capri Sun. What?
Capri Sun, motherfucker. I want a Capri Sun.
I want adult-sized Capri Sun packets. That's what I want. Because last time I had a Capri Sun, it was like 1 sip, and I'm done.
That's what they call a box of wine.
Yeah,
that's an adult
true.
Capri Sun. If you pop that open and you just get one of them,
that was actually just
straws.
my own childhood Juicy Juice. Was that not for you? Was that not? Did you not get drunk and watch Arthur on PBS? Like,
shoot.
Was that not the normal childhood experience?
Man. Oh, shout out to Arthur, by the way.
They're going strong.
Yeah, still going strong, and letting one of their characters get married to another man on the show. Yeah,
good old gay.
Yeah, Mr. Ratburn. Pretty dope.
Anteaters can get gay married too.
That's true.
Almost an episode name, but I'd be scared to put that one out there.
Yeah, no. We're not doing that.
Yeah, no.
No.
Fuck them. 2019. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening. Thanks to everyone who came out to the live show. Hopefully we'll do more in the future.
Thank you, guys. And remember, as always, be excellent to each other.
Bye.